Hey everyone, what's up, TheUnproPro here. Alright, so, Sean, True Sean BW has done something like this, and, well, I think it's because of that video, he was so open with what he said, like, he just, wasn't afraid to tell anything, like, his life story and stuff like that, so, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and explain mine. Alright, let's see, where do I start? I guess I'll start with, like, the first, bad thing that ever actually happened to me. When I was 5 years old, I was playing with the kids around the neighborhood. Like they were like they were across the street from us. Ironically, we live on the same street again. Anyways, so I went over to his house and we were like playing stuff, like out in the yard. I think he had a swing set. He had something else. Anyways, so his dog recently had puppies. He had pit bulls, and so we're petting him and all that. About 5-10 minutes later, here comes the mama of the little puppies, and she attacks us all. And if I wouldn't have ducked down, she would have got my throat. So, luckily I ducked. But that led me to get, I think it was 21 stitches in my head, and only 5 years old. Yeah, a lot of blood loss there. That was crazy. Anyways, I even remember the dog's name. It was Shadow. Anyways, so that was like the first bad thing. Let's see. Okay, what next? I guess I'll go ahead and like skip to where I started school. I started school around actually shortly after that. Or no, it was before that, I think. Yeah, it was before that. I think it was before the dog bite when I started school. I could be wrong though. It might have been after. I can't remember. Anyways, back in kindergarten, I remember like my first teacher's name. Her name was Miss Freewall. And funny thing is, like, cause I was still just like 5 or 6 years old. So, like, my dad, he leaves me in the class, and he goes. I run out the class, and I go, like, running towards him, and it was just the funniest thing now that I think about it. And I was a little kid. I didn't know what was going on. He decided to go in the school. I was like, okay, cool, let's go. I didn't even really know what school really was. And, when he left, I was like, no, dog, where are you going? Where are you going? Yeah, I was like that for a while, and then I eventually got over it in kindergarten, and, come first grade was alright too, like, I don't remember too much about first grade. Second grade was okay, that's when I went to a different school, actually, I went to, like, Oniko Elementary, I remember that. And then third grade was alright, but fourth grade and up is where everything just went straight downhill. Fourth grade is where, like, people actually started being jerks and, trying to always make fun of you and get you to fight them and this and that. But it wasn't until about 5th grade where I actually had my first fight, and that was this kid named Andres. I thought he was playing around because he was smiling and laughing, running his mouth. He's talking smack, so I talked smack back, we were running our mouth, but we were laughing. Next thing I know, he, like, hits me in the dang forehead, and I don't really remember much after that, but as soon as he hit me, like, all I do remember is, like, there's, like, this blank space, and then, like, just somehow he's bending over and I'm pounding on his back. And, that's about all I remember out of that. Oh, yeah, no, I screamed a curse word, like, really loud, and the teacher didn't even notice. So, I was trying to get her to notice, say, hey, this guy, he's fighting, can you at least, grab him? So, that's what I was thinking in my head. But she didn't even pay attention to it. And I was like, well, she might have, but it was in music class. I remember that. We all used to have keyboards, and I used to just try and play around with it. And, 6th grade was very interesting, actually. I met this kid named Owen, and some days we would fight, and some days we would, like, just get along, and it was weird. It was real weird. But, they just kept getting worse and worse throughout that. 7th grade, I actually went to the school that my church, that, like, has. It's like a really, really tiny thing. It has like 2 little buildings, and maybe like 6 classrooms in the most. Very, very small place. It's a pretty good place though. They have all levels. They have kindergarten through high school, and it was an official school with only that many classrooms. Now how, I don't know. I don't know how they did that. But some of the people that actually went to the church went there as well. The bullying was just as bad there too. Everybody always trying to get you to fight them, you know, always like running their mouth, calling you, you know, like names and all kind of stuff. The name calling I can take, you know, that's cool, whatever, you know, you just run your mouth, that's whatever, I can ignore that. But when they stop you from walking and try to get you to fight them, they get all up in your face, I can't take that. I cannot stand it. So, because, like, it happened almost every day, like, everybody always wanted to get me to fight them, they would always distract me from doing my work, and then, you know, I think it was actually before 6th grade. No, I think it was 6th grade or before 6th grade. I don't know. It was somewhere around that time where it actually got so bad because I didn't want to tell anybody about it, you know, because I didn't want to look like a coward or a pansy. Or, well, I would say the words that they use, but it's kind of strong, so try to avoid that during this video. Anyways, so I didn't want to look like one of those, and, so I never really told anybody. Not even my dad. Like, I didn't tell anybody. You know, I thought I can take it all. I thought I can handle it all on myself. And most of the time, I had nobody there to back me up either. And the friends that I did have were just like me, you know what I mean? They were being picked on as well. And it's not that I was afraid of them. Like, when this all started, you know, my dad told me from the very beginning, he used to tell me, like, all the time, don't fight in school, right? And, so I didn't tell him, you know, what they were doing. I just told him that there's a bunch of people annoying me. And he's like, don't fight in school. So I listened to him. And, well, that's both a good thing and a bad thing, really, because, well, now, today, I get nervous, like, unless there's something, like, important I have to do. Like, by important, I mean, if, okay, if, let me just try to think of something. Okay, say if somebody, like, picks up our little dog or something and starts walking away with her. I'm not going to be nervous then. I'm just going to go straight after him. But, if I'm, like, one of the main reasons I can't get a job is because, now, don't get me wrong, if I had to get a job, if I absolutely had to, then I would probably be able to force myself. But, as of right now, like, if I were to try and get a job, I would get nervous. I would be nervous just being around, like, random people. Because I remember having a job when I was, like, 16 years old at the movie theaters, and, like, there was, like, this 30-year-old dude, a big dude at that, trying to bully, me and this kid, and, like, and it's like, are you serious? You're, like, 30 years old messing around with teenagers. And, eventually I ended up reporting him. And that guy made me so mad. So mad. Like I said, I don't know how old he was, but I think he was like 30. He looked way, way older than us. So, anyway, so yeah, there's that. But it's all because of that. Like, because of people like that. You know, the only way you were ever going to get along with someone is if you smoked weed, is if you drank, or is if you like, were a gangster. That's the only way you would get along with somebody around here. And it just bugged the crap out of me because I was the completely different person. Like, I'm the guy who wants to sit in his house and play RPGs all day. You know, like stuff that actually makes you feel good, like games. Not sitting there trying to attack everybody all the freaking time, make fun of somebody and try to make somebody else feel bad. Can't stand that. So, anyways, because of all of that I get nervous now. And I think it was, like, around 5th or 6th grade where it actually became so stressful, it caused me to do weird things like turn on and off lights, open and close doors repeatedly. Of course, now that I'm older, I'm out of that, but the stress actually got to that point because I couldn't tell anybody, you know, and everybody kept thinking I had ADHD, which I might have ADHD, but that wasn't the cause of that. And, yeah, it's just, it was ridiculous. Like, it was hard, you know, it really was. It was really hard. And, now these days, okay, these days, I hear bullying is even worse. So I encourage anybody and everybody to just go all out. Don't hold back. Don't be afraid. Even if you are nervous. Of course, you're gonna get nervous. You're gonna get shaky. But don't listen to anybody. Like, don't listen to anybody's crap like that. Just go all out. I seriously don't recommend it because it will leave a permanent scar on you. Now, at the same time, I don't encourage you to fight. It's so weird. Like, I encourage you to defend yourself, and at the same time, I encourage you not to fight. And it's so weird, because either way, you know, something bad is going to come out of it. But I guess the good thing that came out of it was I avoided drugs. I avoided, you know, all the gangster and thug crap that they always do. Like, you know, talk about how they jumped this guy last week or something. It's like, dude. And I remember back in high school, which was Richard Milburn Academy, there was actually drugs being sold right there in the middle of everywhere. Like, ridiculous. And it's not even that big of a school. It's a really small school. They don't even have 2 stories. So like in the lunchroom, someone was selling, like, it wasn't speed. It was like this little pill thing. I forget what they call it. Anyways, so they were selling that. And one dude tried to get me to take it. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to take that. You know, and got mad at me, but hey, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not going to, you know, take stuff like that. It's ridiculous. I'm not going to do drugs. Like, I guarantee you that's something I can't stand. And one of the main reasons I don't like drugs these days is probably because of that. Like, because I see what it does to people, you know, and I've seen how it makes people act. It's, I don't know, it just bugs the crap out of me, and it just reminds me of how school was. You know? Even something as simple as, you know, what everybody does these days, which is weed, I can't stand it because it reminds me of the past. You know, it reminds me of how it made everybody act, and it reminds me of everybody's bad attitudes and negative attitudes. And one time, like, oh, the screen went to sleep. One time, like, I actually bought a pair of brass knuckles from this dude because I was, you know, hopefully thinking that people would leave me alone if they knew I had those, if word got around that I had those. Fortunately, it didn't really change anything. So, I ended up quitting school because of all this, and right now I kind of wish I went back. But I forgot almost everything I learned in school. Like, I forgot a lot of crap. But, there was actually one class that I really did enjoy. I used to actually skip my history class because the teacher, like, oh my gosh, she's ridiculous. I mean, she probably didn't mean it, but, alright, so I was sitting, like, behind this one girl, right? And she had her head all the way back near my desk, right? Like, I don't know what she was doing. She had her head all the way back. And she was complaining that I was breathing on her. And, hold on. I had to pause the audio recording for a second. Somebody was honking. Anyways, so, like, what's she talking about? Where was I? Oh, yeah. She complaining like I was breathing on her, right? She's sitting there, and we are, like, literally right next to the teacher's desk, right? Teacher's ignoring her completely. You know, letting her run her mouth and all this and that, and call me names and cuss me out. Oh, I wanted to smack that bitch down. I'm sorry for cussing, but I did. Anyways, so, when I, you know, when I forget what I said. I said something to her, and guess what? The teacher gets in my face about it. I'm like, okay, in my head, I was like, bitch, go fuck off. But, no, I didn't say that, but it's ridiculous. I don't know, it's like, everybody was out to get me in school, even that teacher. So anyways, I ended up, I started to actually skip that class and go into gym, the gym class, which was where the acting class used to be, but the acting teacher left. And so, Tippy Golfin, was his name. He was a really awesome person. He was a cool dude. So anyways, I kept going in there every time it was history class. And right after history, I had gym legitly, right? So I've been doing that for like a week or two, and then he finally caught on, and I was like, I really don't want to go to history. And I think he was cool enough to actually, like, let me stay in there. He's like, you know, if you get caught, it's your own fault. I'm like, you know, I don't care, dude. I didn't say that, but I was like, heck yeah. Yeah, he was a cool dude. I remember one time I brought my laptop in there when I had one, and I was showing this one dude RPG Maker, and the volume was like on full blast, and it was RPG Maker 2003. So like we were all up in the lunchroom during breakfast in the morning, and like I turned it on, and I don't know how you could confuse the RPG Maker theme with this, but this one retarded chick came up and said, "You watching porn?" I'm like, okay, you know the anime fall that they do on anime, like when something stupid happens, like they They do like an anime fall. Well, um, like I literally probably if those existed in real life, I would have made a crater in the ground the size of the Grand Canyon. I don't know, the size of something. I would have made a huge crater in the ground, causing earthquakes. The world would have been destroyed by that chick's stupidity. Like, what? How? I don't understand. Like, the insane stupidity of that day. Like, I know she was messing around, but porn? Is that seriously what you could think of? For RPG Maker 2003, the original title music? It goes like, oh my gosh, it's like serious epic facepalm in the moment. And there was also this one chick, like, she literally, like, she wanted to put hot sauce on ice cream or something like that. I'm like, what? Ugh! So yeah, like, there was that. And, I don't know, there's all kinds of crazy stuff happening during school. Like, I don't know why she wanted hot sauce on ice cream. That is nasty. That could have been just a rumor, too. The rumors spread like wildfire. Like, rumors are just everywhere. Where else do I go from here? Oh, yeah. I guess I'll go. Okay, so I started karate. And, about a year ago? A year or two? No, it was like a year. Yeah, it was a little bit over a year ago, I think. And I did it for about 9 months. I made it up to orange belt. The only reason I quit was because, like, I was overdoing it. Like, I was giving it more than all I had. And, you know, every time you turn around, you know, you're told you're making an excuse. It's like, no, you're over pushing me. But, you know, you couldn't explain that to nobody because, you know, everybody thinks everybody's the same and everybody thinks that you're invincible and you can do anything. You know? Basically when I first started, I got tired after like 20 or 30 seconds of the cardio, which we do it for 30 minutes whole. So when I first started, I got tired after like 30 seconds, like, couldn't breathe. So eventually, now I can do the cardio for the whole 30 minutes, it's like no problem. But when I first started, I wasn't in shape at all. You know, and I jumped right into the hard stuff, like whatever they were doing. And, it's... You know, we basically do the same exact things as the black belts do. You know, unless we're doing the test. The test, you know, the test is where the different belts kind of come in at. But during class, we pretty much do the exact same thing. Everybody does. Except for forms. That's the only different thing. And it's like, how do you expect somebody who has never done martial arts before... Well, I've done martial arts. I've done capoeira for 2 years, but that was nowhere near like this. Like, we never did a cardio in there. It's like, how do you expect someone who's never done anything like what you guys are doing to do it and not get hurt? So there was actually, I think, like 3 times where I overdid it and I couldn't move the next day. Not because it hurt or anything, but because I couldn't move. It was weird. Like, my muscles didn't want to work right. So I overdid it like 3 frickin' times. You know, and when I finally say, no, hey, I'm hurting, it's, oh, you'll be fine. It's like, no, I'm not going to be fine. So anyway, I like, you know, the class and stuff, but it was just, they don't really know the limits of people. Then again, they are young instructors, younger than I am. So, anyways, we ended up training for a tournament, and I actually fought in the tournament. It was really fun. And I fought with shin splints and a pulled muscle. Of course, I lost. The dude I fought was like a whole 2 feet taller than me. Not literally, but this dude was giant. Like, and he was a cool person, but I couldn't get... Dude, that guy's arm reach was like, my leg reach. It was ridiculous. Somehow my friend Anthony beat him, and he's not any taller than I am. Weird. He's fast, so he's quick. Anthony's been doing MMA for a longer time, like, even before he started karate, so... At least he told me that he did it as a kid. But yeah, I fought in the tournament. I had shin splints and a pulled muscle. And I still went through with it. And I still trained. Every day. You know, and it's like, go easier. We're only human. And, anyway. Yeah, I guess I really don't know where else to start. I mean, or to keep going. I think yeah, I think I've just about covered everything, the basics. I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. I would say watching, but I don't know if I'm going to have a video in the background or not. See you guys later. Thanks for watching.